night her shop burned, she thought life was over. Flames swallowed years of sacrifice, hopes, and hard work. Neighbors watched helplessly as fire consumed everything she had built. She stood frozen, unable to move, unable to breathe, as her dreams turned to ashes. But sometimes life breaks us only to rebuild us stronger. This is her story. Amaka had always been a fighter. Growing up in a small town, she learned early that life rewards those who rise before the sun. As a child, she helped her mother sell provisions in a small roadside stall. She loved the rhythm of the market, the noise, the bargaining, the smell of fresh bread. So when she finally saved enough to open a shop of her own, it felt like the beginning of her destiny. She invested everything she had, her savings, her energy, her dreams. The shop grew steadily. People loved her warm smile, her honesty, her dedication. It wasn't just a business to her, it was her heart. But one night changed everything. A spark from a faulty wire in a neighboring stall turned into a roaring blaze. She arrived to the scene only to find firefighters struggling against the flames. The smoke stung her eyes, but what hurt most was the sight of her shop collapsing into ashes. It was as if time stopped. Her world dimmed. She felt empty. The days that followed were dark. Amaka tried to stay strong, but every memory of the fire felt like a fresh wound. She visited banks for loans, but was turned away. She spoke to her landlord, but got no support. Some customers shrugged and moved on to others. Some people whispered that maybe business wasn't for her after all. She sat many days staring at the burnt remains of her shop, wondering where to start. She had no capital, no helper, no backup plan. Even friends avoided her, afraid of being asked for money. She felt alone. One afternoon, while she swept the ashes around her stall, an elderly woman approached her. She had been a loyal customer. "My daughter," the woman said softly, "you lost your shop, not your gift. Your strength is still here. Start again, even if it's small." Those words hit her like light in darkness. Something stirred inside her. Maybe she could start again. She found a tiny wooden kiosk she could afford. It was nothing compared to her former shop, but it was enough to begin. She bought a few essential items, biscuits, sugar, milk, soap, and arranged them neatly. She worked with determination, refusing to give up. She learned that true strength is not seen in comfort, but in crisis. She learned that progress is sometimes slow, but still progress. She learned that resilience isn't loud, it's silent persistence. She learned that starting again doesn't mean failure. It means courage. And gradually people noticed her commitment. Months passed, and one morning a team from a local NGO visited the market. They were offering support to small business owners affected by disasters. They listened to her story, her struggles, her courage. She spoke not with pity, but with strength. A week later, she received a call. She had been selected for a business support grant. That day, she cried, not from pain, but from relief. It was the push she needed. With the grant, she restocked her shop fully. She expanded the kiosk into a bigger stall. She painted it, decorated the shelves, and even hung a small sign, Amaka's Mart, rising from the ashes. Her business grew faster than before. Customers returned. She became a figure of hope in her community. She rose from nothing, stronger than ever. Today, Amaka stands tall, not because she never fell, but because she rose each time life pushed her down. Her story is proof that even when everything is lost, the courage to begin again can create something new. She no longer fears losing everything, because she knows she can rebuild anything. If this story touched you, remember Amaka's journey whenever life feels overwhelming. Ashes are not the end. Sometimes they are the beginning of something stronger. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, what tough moment shaped you the most?